Fire Billy Napier. Fire Billy Napier. I don't care how good his recruiting is. If your head coach doesn't know what the hell he's doing on the field with his own players, then it doesn't matter how good the recruiting is. This man cost Florida this game. He cost. I can't even get my words together. First of all, you go down 14-0 to Arkansas. You go down 14-0 to Arkansas. Sorry, my computer was on. You go down 14-0 to Arkansas. Ricky Parasol fumbles it. It looked bleak at first, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to lose my cool. It's early in the first quarter. We got plenty of time. And then Florida does what Florida does. They mount back. They tie the game up at 14. Arkansas takes the lead at 17-14. Then Florida ties it up. They go into halftime like, okay, Florida's got the momentum here. First two drives of the game for Florida, both 3-and-outs. Arkansas moves down the field, scores, gets a field goal, goes up 20-17. That's me opening my closet door, by the way. Goes up 20-17 on Florida. I'm thinking, and the moment that happened, I'm like, Florida lost this game based off of that. They had all the momentum, and then they kept allowing Arkansas to get back into it. And then Arkansas showed you why that they're 2-16 is because they keep finding ways to make stupid mistakes to lose games. That's the reason why they lost close games the way that they have this year. Because after they go up 20-17, they falter around, they miss a field goal. That gives Florida some life. First play after that missed field goal by Arkansas, Ricky Pearsall scores a touchdown on a great throw by Graham Mertz, scores a touchdown, goes up 20-3, and then Arkansas ties the game up, and then Florida, they move down to the red zone. They have an opportunity to get a touchdown, but nope, they faulty play calling by Billy Napier again. They go for these short, quick passes instead of going for the touchdown. They go up 26-3, trying not to lose instead of winning the game. And then Arkansas moves down the field. They move down the field. They score a touchdown to go up 30-26. Florida scores and responds with a quick 3-yard, 72-yard touchdown drive. Trevor Etienne carried Florida on that drive, had a big catch and run, and then had a big run to score. Kind of surprising how he doesn't get the ball the entire game outside of kick returning. And then when he gets the ball twice, he scores a touchdown. I mean, don't you think that's a sign that maybe you should give him the ball more often, Billy Napier? It's sad. It's pathetic. I cannot defend Billy Napier more after this. Then the defense, they finally broke down. I'm actually not even mad at the defense this game because they eventually wore out. They were worn down. They were playing well and they played well in the first 3 quarters, but they were on the field so long that they got tired. They wore down, and then eventually Arkansas capitalized on it, and they capitalized on it. They tied the game up at 33-33, and I'm thinking, and to be honest with you, I thought Billy Napier was going to go to overtime, was going to play for overtime. And if I have to give him credit for anything, was that instead of going for overtime, he actually tried to win the game at the end. Or so I thought. You're going to hear why. They move down the field. Arlis Borningham gets a big catch and run. It was like his biggest catch of the entire game by far. He puts Florida inside the red zone with 8 seconds left. But mind you, the clock has stopped at this point. Instead of spiking it immediately, Napier tries to sub the field goal unit onto the field. But the problem is this. If you're going to sub the field goal unit onto the field, go through it entirely. Instead, what he does is he changes his mind mid-time, and then because they were trying to run off the field and Graham Mertz was finally able to spike, there was too many men on the field. Or excuse me, the players came onto the field into the huddle and then substituted back out in mid-play, which is an illegal formation or an illegal whatever. But despite all that, Trey Smack misses a 39-yard field goal. He can somehow nail the 40 to 50-yard field goals, but he misses the 39-yard field goal there. But at the same time, he wouldn't have had to kick it from 39. He would have just had to kick it from 34 yards if Billy Napier didn't call that stupid substitution on a spike play. So he cost Florida this game. Florida gets the ball first. They don't do anything, of course, now that the pressure is on them. Of course, they have to kick a field goal in overtime. Defense so worn down. They give up a touchdown, 4 quick plays, even after having a first down and 20 to their advantage. Arkansas wins the game 39-36. The Florida Gators are the first conference team and the first team in the Power 5 to lose to Arkansas this year. There's 6 losses against conference teams and Power 5 teams if you include BYU in the Big 12. and Billy Napier loses at home. The very first home loss for Florida this year is when it's against a bad 2-6 Arkansas team. Well, then again, Arkansas might actually be a better football team than Florida is, despite the win-loss record difference, because Arkansas, in clutch moments, knew what to do. Billy Napier doesn't. Uncle Lou, you were 100% right. Billy Napier doesn't know what the f he's doing. He cost Florida this game. He screwed Florida over in this game. I will not defend Billy Napier ever again. I will not defend Billy Napier over again. I want him off the team. I don't care how good. Yeah, exactly. High top sports. Florida did get embarrassed. I don't want this man coaching for Florida beyond 2024. I understand why you're going to keep him, because the recruiting class is good. So you're going to keep him to get those 2024 players in. I completely understand why you're doing it. But this Florida's not going to make a bowl game this year. They're going to be like Miami, 5-7 last year. They're not going to make a bowl game. They're going to miss out on a bowl game for the first time since 2017. Florida's going to have 3 straight losing records as a football program. And I don't want to hear shit about, well, it wasn't Napier's fault they had a losing record in 2021, because it was his fault. Maybe not entirely, but he played a big part in why Florida had 2 back-to-back losing records. They're not gonna make a bowl game. They're going to get blown out by LSU, Missouri, and Florida State. And quite frankly, at least the good part is, when I watch the game, at least I know I won't have that expectation. So there's no point in me to yell and scream and get mad or get upset. I already know what's going to happen. I've already accepted it. It's like accepting death. There's no reason to get upset over it. It's going to happen regardless. So you might as well just control what you can control and enjoy life until it happens. They're not going to make a bowl game this year. Florida made the wrong hire in Billy Napier. If it wasn't for the 2 head coaches, well, actually, no, I can't even say the 2 head coaches in Virginia. I was going to say the Virginia Tech head coach, but Virginia Tech is on the verge of making a bowl game this year while Florida sits at home. If it wasn't for the head coach in Virginia, Billy Napier and Brian Harsin, Billy Napier would have been the worst coaching hire of the 2020s decade. I'm through with Napier. I will not defend Billy Napier. I cannot defend Billy Napier. He cost Florida this game simply because of the fact that he cannot call plays to save his life, and that he was too inept to hire a special teams coordinator. It'd be one thing if you just hired a bad special teams coordinator. No, you didn't even try to do that. You have all these staff members on your roster, but you can't hire a special teams coordinator and an offensive coordinator. Quite frankly, I don't trust Billy Napier with anything that he does. I don't even want him to. Apparently, there's some rumor that he's going to promote Russ Callaway as the tight end coach, as the offensive coordinator and the play caller for next year. I don't even want him to do that, because any decision Billy Napier makes, I have to look at it side-eye. This is ridiculous. Eugene Wilson balled out. Ricky Pearsall balled out. Aldous Borningham had a good game. Trevor Etienne was phenomenal. Running the ball, catching the ball, returning kicks. Not even Graham Mertz was that bad. And the defense kept Florida in this game. It wasn't like the defense was flat out terrible, even though the 39 points would indicate otherwise. They actually kept Florida throughout the game, because because 7 of these points that Arkansas scored came from Ricky Pearsall fumbling the ball, and they returned it for a touchdown. A lot of these points, they kept Arkansas out of the end zone for the entire second and third quarter. The entire second and third quarter, Arkansas only had field goals. So the defense, they did everything they possibly could to keep Florida in this game. They did everything that they possibly could to help Florida win this game. And Billy Napier fucked it up with his stupid conservative play calling. There was literally 4 he literally called a screen pass where Mertz fakes the handoff, looks to his left, and then looks to his right, and and there's a screen developing on the right side. He called that play call 4 times, to the point where the Arkansas defensive players would wrap up the ball carrier as soon as he caught it, and then look at the Florida Gators sideline and just laugh in their faces, which they should. He called that same play call 4 times in a row. I knew exactly what that play call was each time they snapped it. He did it on 4 consecutive plays. I don't trust Billy Napier ever again. I don't care if he hires an offensive coordinator again. Next year, I don't care if he makes staff changes. Florida is not going to do anything more than make a measly bowl game, and they get blown out 30-3 with this guy as the head coach. He is one of the 3 worst hires in college football of this decade, behind only Brian Harsin and maybe Tony Elliott at Virginia. Other than that, and quite frankly, if people were to rate Napier higher than Tony Elliott, I couldn't get mad. This man has fucked over the Gators program this year. He absolutely lost it. Florida will not make a bowl game.